Well, good evening everyone and welcome along to British Speedway Quiz Night number 14. Hope you've all enjoyed your week so far and hope you're looking forward to the weekend. Starting of course with the latest instalment of the British Speedway Quiz Night. We will move on to the 40 questions in a few moments time, but as ever we do want to spend these first few minutes just allowing the live player count to build. And also, we'll talk you through the rules and the way tonight's quiz will work in a few minutes. First of all, though, do allow me as ever to point you in the direction of the official British Speedway news sources, starting with the website, speedwaygb.co.uk. And as I said on Monday, following the government's decision last week, there are plenty of discussions and online meetings being held between the board of directors and promoters across the UK as well. So we are expecting a decision very soon, hopefully. You'll be aware that the British Speedway season ideally needs to get started in August to have any form of season. So like I say, discussions ongoing and fingers crossed we will have a positive decision very soon indeed. But keep your eyes on the speedwaygb.co.uk website, and if there is a new statement, that is the place you will read it first. Keep up to date on our social media channels as well. Follow us on Twitter at SpeedwayGB. You can search SpeedwayGB on Facebook and like our page on there. Give us a follow on Instagram at Official British Speedway. And subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. Search Speedway Great Britain. This coming Monday on our Facebook and YouTube channels from 7:30, Monday, July the 20th. It's our latest Monday Night Speedway broadcast. And we are rewinding 11 years to the 2009 Premier League Fours from Derwent Park, the former home of the Workington Comets. And obviously this should have been the biggest weekend on the British Speedway calendar with the championship pairs at Somerset this evening. Tomorrow should have been the British Grand Prix at Cardiff, and then the championship fours were due to take place on Sunday at Leicester as well. So Monday Night Speedway broadcast, the 2009 Premier League Fours. Back to British Speedway Quiz Night then, and I can tell you if you stay tuned after the answers in tonight's quiz, there will be an announcement relating to next week's British Speedway Quiz Night number 15, so please do stay tuned right up until the end of tonight's show. But tonight it's Quiz Night number 14, and regular quizzers will know how it works by now. We'll shortly be getting things up and running with round number 1, our bumper opening round, pick and mix, a bit of anything and everything. We'll then take a short break of around about 2 or 3 minutes or so, and then we will return with our 2 themed rounds, 10 questions in each of these. Round number 2 this week is called Pair Up, and that's relating to what should have been the championship pairs, the second tier pairs event. But full details to follow on that a little later on. And then round 3 this evening, we've took on board a round that you liked in one of our previous editions of the British Speedway Quiz Night, and we've just gave it a slight twist, and round 3 this week will be called Missing Club. So Pair Up and Missing Club, the 2 theme rounds. We will then take a slightly longer break of around about 4 or 5 minutes or so, and view some clips from the British Speedway video archives. And then we will return and run through tonight's 40 answers. And then, like I say, just a quick announcement regarding next week's British Speedway Quiz Night. So regular players will know now it's all for a bit of fun, no prizes or anything like that. Putting your Speedway knowledge to the test, going head to head in your individual households or via the video group apps. And we do award 1 point per question, but I'll remind you of that when we come on to the marking scheme a little later on. So I think that is everything I need to tell you about now. If you do want to play along live on Facebook, you can type your comments into the comment section, or also if you are playing along live on YouTube as well. But there are a vast majority of you out there who do like playing the traditional way with pen and paper. That's absolutely fine. We just like to see you post your scores later on. So without further ado, I think it's time we get British Speedway Quiz Night number 14 up and running with our bumper opening round. Straight into question number 1 then, and which British club are nicknamed the Witches? So which British club are nicknamed the Witches? Question 2. Which club race their home fixtures at the Smallbrook Stadium? So which club race their home fixtures at the Smallbrook Stadium? Question 3. The following is an anagram of which National League club? So the following is an anagram of which National League club? And as you'll see on your screen, it is La Mend Hill. Question 4. Whose club crest logo have we zoomed in on here? So whose club crest logo have we zoomed in on here? Question 5. Stormy is one nickname given to which Newcastle rider? So Stormy is one nickname given to which Newcastle rider? Time to see how much attention you've been paying to the Speedway news over the past week or so for the next couple of questions. Question number 6. Swindon and pool racer Adam Ellis suffered a fractured what earlier this week? So Swindon and pool racer Adam Ellis suffered a fractured what earlier this week? Question 7. Which racer will be Great Britain's sole representative in the scheduled FIM European Under-21 qualifier in the Czech Republic next month? So which racer will be Great Britain's sole representative in the scheduled FIM European Under-21 qualifier in the Czech Republic next month? First time tonight to put riders in a certain order then. And for this next question, it all relates to riders who celebrate their birthdays in July. But from oldest to youngest, can you put the following 4 riders in order of their age? So from oldest to youngest, can you put the following 4 riders in order of their age? And we've got A. Tom Brennan, B. Daniel Hume, C. Thomas Jorgensen, and D. Jakob Torschel. Question 9. Edinburgh signed Richie Worrell over the winter, but which championship club did he ride for in 2019? So Edinburgh signed Richie Worrell over the winter, but which championship club did he ride for in 2019? Question 10. 3 of Wolverhampton's top 4 all-time record point scorers are what nationality? So 3 of Wolverhampton's top 4 all-time record point scorers are what nationality? Question 11. What is the name of this club mascot? So what is the name of this club mascot? Question number 12. Both Ben Barker and Danny King raced for which British club between 2011 and 2014? So both Ben Barker and Danny King raced for which British club between 2011 and 2014? Multiple choice for question 13. Which former British champion and world finalist was the joint team manager of Sheffield in 2016? So which former British champion and world finalist was the joint team manager of Sheffield in 2016? Is it A. Eric Bucock, B. Gary Havelock, C. Chris Morton, or D. Joe Screen? Multiple choice once again for question 14. Berix Nikolai Busk Jakobsen was born in which country? So Berix Nikolai Busk Jakobsen was born in which country? Is it A. Denmark, B. Finland, C. Norway, or D. Sweden? Question 15. Ian Jordan is a director at which two British clubs? So Ian Jordan is a director at which two British clubs? And I'll give you a small clue. One is in the Championship and one is in the National League. Fifty-fifty chance of you getting question 16 right. Which of the following set the existing track record at Poole in 2006? So which of the following set the existing track record at Poole in 2006? Is it A. Antonio Limbach or B. Bjarne Pedersen? Question 17. Which current British League competitor is this pictured during his junior racing days? So which current British League competitor is this pictured during his junior racing days? Question 18. Who was initially placed in temporary charge of Peterborough in April 2016 following Carl Johnson's unexpected decision to stand down from his role of team boss? So who was initially placed in temporary charge of Peterborough in April 2016 following Carl Johnson's unexpected decision to stand down from his role as team boss? Putting riders in a certain order once again for question 19, this time from the highest amount to the least. Can you put these four riders in order based on how many championship points they scored for Somerset in 2019? So from the highest amount to the least, can you put these four riders in order based on how many championship points they scored for Somerset in 2019? And the four riders to sort are A. Nico Cavati, B. Chris Harris, C. Nick Morris, and D. Rory Schlein. And last but not least, question number 20. Leicester and Kings Lynn's 2015 Elite League clashes on August the 15th and September the 1st ended with the same scoreline. But what was it? So Leicester and Kings Lynn's 2015 Elite League clashes on August the 15th and September the 1st ended with the same scoreline. But what was it? Time to take our first short break of the evening then. We'll be back with our 2 theme rounds in a few moments' time. But first, here's some footage from the British Speedway video archives.
Well, away we go. 2018 season is go, and it's Summers that's made a very assured start to his Ryehouse career. He hits the front in the blue helmet colour, pursued in yellow and black by Michael Barntoft, and Vasilek's first introduction to Ryehouse. He's not a particularly happy one at the moment. Chris Harris battling a bit at the back, but well, Aaron Summers has got the bit between his teeth. This could be some debut. But here comes the bomber trying to go around the outside of Michael Barntoft. That's where the racing's going to be. Aaron Summers is in front. Martin Vasilek has packed up at the back. And Chris Harris has got 2 bends to go about Michael Barntoft. It's Aaron Summers in front. Can Barntoft hold on? Here comes Harris up the inside. Can't make it. Rocket start 2018 with a 4-2.
There you go, who's made the gate? The Bandits. Bates and Garcia. Here comes Pickering into third, having a go around the outside. He'll need to really go. He's swung very wide, he's got round Garcia. Bates hasn't had all that good a night so far, but now that he's in the clear up front, he's really going for it, and he's probably favourite from there. Joel Anderson coming hard inside Garcia. That's an important point. Garcia's still third at the moment. Pickering trying everything, but he's still got a fair bit to do. Anderson has got past Garcia this time, I think, although Garcia's fighting back. Anderson's into third. That's a crucial point, and here comes Pickering on the last corner, and he has. Did he do it? I think he might have done. What a sensational finish. Bates looked the wrong way, and it may well be that Josh Pickering got that win if I saw it correctly.
So time to crack on with British Speedway quiz night number 14 then. It's time for our first theme round, and round about now we should be stood on the terraces and the grass banks of the Oak Tree Arena at Somerset for the championship pairs. We understand why that can't happen right now. So for our first theme round, we're going to test your knowledge of the second tier pairs events with round number 2, which is called Pair Up. So yes, as I've just said, the championship pairs should be well underway at Somerset right about now. So for our first theme round this week, and round number 2, it's called Pair Up, and we're going to test your knowledge of the second tier event in our first theme round. So question number 1, traditionally and most commonly, how many points are awarded for a race winner in the second tier pairs event? So traditionally and most commonly, how many points are awarded for a race winner in the second tier pairs event? Question 2, which club finished runners-up behind Glasgow at the 2019 Championship Pairs? So which club finished runners-up behind Glasgow at the 2019 Championship Pairs? Multiple choice for question number 3. Who was the other member of Sheffield's 2018 Championship Pairs winning duo alongside Kyle Howarth? So who was the other member of Sheffield's 2018 Championship Pairs winning duo alongside Kyle Howarth? Was it A. Josh Bates, B. Lassabiere, C. Josh Krushonik, or D. Charles Wright? Question 4. The second tier pairs is most commonly associated with Somerset's Oak Tree Arena, but which club hosted the 2017 staging? So the second tier pairs is most commonly associated with Somerset's Oak Tree Arena, but which club hosted the 2017 staging? Question 5. Which Australian racer won the Premier League pairs in both 2015 and 2016 whilst representing two different clubs? So which Australian racer won the Premier League pairs in both 2015 and 2016 whilst representing two different clubs? More multiple choice coming your way for question number 6. Which two riders were triumphant for Edinburgh in the 2014 Premier League pairs? So which two riders were triumphant for Edinburgh in the 2014 Premier League pairs? Is it A. Craig Cook and Sam Masters, B. Max Frick and Sam Masters, or C. Justin Sedgman and Steve Worrell? Question 7. Josh Orty was a back-to-back runner-up in both the 2012 and 2013 Premier League pairs with which club? So Josh Orty was a back-to-back runner-up in both the 2012 and 2013 Premier League pairs with which club? Question 8. Joe Screen and James Greaves won the Premier League pairs for which club in 2011? So Joe Screen and James Greaves won the Premier League pairs for which club in 2011? Multiple choice for question number 9. Which of the following was a winner of the Premier League pairs in 5 out of the 7 stagings between 1997 and 2003? So which of the following was a winner of the Premier League pairs in 5 out of the 7 stagings between 1997 and 2003? Is it A. Danny Bird, B. Shane Parker, or C. Carl Stonehewer? And question number 10. During its time as the Premier League pairs, how many riders from the current list of world champions won the event? So during its time as the Premier League pairs, how many riders from the current list of world champions won the event? Straight on to round number 3 then, and this week it's called Missing Club. So we know that a lot of you enjoyed the career path theme round in one of our previous instalments of the British Speedway Quiz Nights. So we thought we'd bring you something similar but with a slight twist. So rather than giving you the clubs and asking you to name the rider, we're going to switch it all around on this occasion. So essentially we're going to name a rider as well as putting a period of 4 years on your screen, but one of them will have a question mark by it. All you need to do on this occasion is to tell us which British club the rider in question raced for in that season. So I'd like to think that all makes sense. If it doesn't, I'm sure all will become apparent as we get this round started with rider number 1. And we're going to kick this round off with Scott Nicholls. And we've got 2014 to 2017 as the seasons in question. Now, as you can see on your screen, Nicholls was with Bellevue in 2014, 15 and 16. But which top flight side was he with in 2017? Was it the Aces or was it another club? Next up, we've got Jason Doyle and 2015 to 2018. Now, you'll see on screen that he made the switch to Somerset in 2018 after making the move from Swindon. But we want to know for which then top flight club was he racing for in 2015? Right, Kenneth Bier is next up with 2016 to 2019. Now you'll see that he was with Peterborough in 2016, Leicester in 2018 and Bellevue in 2019. But which Premiership club was he at in 2017? And you know what? I'm feeling a bit generous on this one, so I'll give you a small hint. It's one of the clubs already mentioned and on your screen now. Next, we've got Jack Holder and 2017 to 2020. And the Australian doubled up between Poole and Peterborough in 2017. And as you can see on your screen, last season he raced solely in the top flight for the Pirates before making the winter switch to Sheffield. But for this question, which Premiership side did Holder race for in 2018? Right, on to the next one we go then, and this time it's Rory Schlein and the 2016 to 2019 seasons. And as you'll see, he settled in at Wolverhampton during this period while swapping Ipswich for Somerset in the second division. But we want to know for which top flight club did Rory Schlein sign in 2016? Was it Wolverhampton or was it somewhere else? So this time we have Adam Ellis and 2017 to 2020. Now he's been with Swindon in the top flight for all 4 of those seasons, and after linking back up with Birmingham in the Championship last year, he agreed to move back to Poole for 2020. But for this one, we want to know for which second tier side did Adam Ellis race for in 2018? Next up, we've got Brady Kurtz, and the period of 4 years we've gone for is 2015 to 2018. So the Australian spent a second straight season with Somerset in 2015 before stepping up to join Poole. But for the question in this round, which second tier team did Brady Kurtz double up with in 2016? So next up, it's the turn of Cameron Heaps, and we've got 2017 to 2020. He's been signed up by Ipswich in each of the 4 years in question, with second team spots at Somerset in 2017, Edinburgh last season and Kent this year. But for this question, we want to know which Premiership team did Cameron Heaps represent in 2018? Next, we've got Lewis Kerr, and again, 2017 to 2020. And as you'll see on your screen, he had spells with both Somerset and Poole in the top flight in 2017, as well as a championship team place with Scunthorpe. He spent the past few seasons back at Kings Lynn and was also set for a second straight year at Eastbourne in the championship this year. But essentially for this one, which second tier club did Lewis Kerr represent in 2018? Last but not least, for round number 3, and of course for British Speedway Quiz Night number 14, and we've got Bjarne Pedersen and his British Speedway career between 2010 and 2013. So he was with Poole 10 years ago, and with Eastbourne in 2011 and 2013. But which club was he with in 2012? So that is another set of 40 questions completed, and that is British Speedway Quiz Night number 14 done and dusted. All that will be left to do in a few moments' time is run through tonight's answers and see how many points you scored. So we'll be back in around about 4 or 5 minutes' time. In the meantime, we're heading to the British Speedway Video Vault.
Here we go. Left from the start there, he goes in front. Chad Worksfield squeezed down on the first turn. The race up front is between Morley and Atkins, but Morley is looking fast this time as he goes round that top turn. And here comes Chad Worksfield trying to get in the picture at the back there, really pushing Aaron Butcher very hard, and he's going to go through on the inside of him, but Butcher coming back at him there. Butcher going past him, and now opening up a lead, and here comes Worksfield diving in again on the turns here. And Butcher knows he's got a Tiger of the other type right up his exhaust pipe. And this time Worksfield goes for the inside, and he moves off the line. Butcher coming back at him. Another super race here between the youngsters. And again, Worksfield comes back past him here. And here comes Butcher again. Look at this. They are passing for fun. Round the first and second turn, and again Chad Worksfield goes round. This time he shuts the door. Super race, wonderful entertainment, and it doesn't matter what league you're watching, it doesn't get a lot better than that. Super race indeed. For the record, Ben Morley won it by the proverbial mile. Henry Atkins got second, but it was all about third place, and Chad Worksfield absolutely superb.
Lawson off 1, Botel off 3, Palmtoft off gate 4, the revs rise, tapes up, and away they go. Good start by the Eastbourne pairing. Michael Palmtoft will try to get the cut back on the run through the first turn. It's Lawson who's got the lead as they go into the back straight. Palmtoft in second place giving chase. They've already dropped Alfie Botel slightly, but it's Lawson who leads the way. Is Michael Palmtoft going to be defeated for the first time? He goes for the outside line into the second lap. Lawson holds sway at the front. Manu doubles up with Ipswich in the top flight. Palmtoft going for the outside line again around turns 3 and 4, and he's gaining ground here on race leader Richard Lawson. They're almost side by side into turn 1 now, switching back to the inside Michael Palmtoft, and that's worked for him. He's up the inside. Is he going to get the lead into turn 3? Can he get the overlap? Yes, he has. Palmtoft takes the lead through turns 3 and 4 into the final lap, but Richard Lawson is not finished yet. Cracking race here in heat number 9. Lawson going for the outside now. They're side by side as they go down the back straight. It's going to be very close between these two here. Lawson up the outside, Palmtoft on the inside, very close as they cross the line. I wouldn't like to call that one. That was very close indeed between Michael Palmtoft and Richard Lawson. Alfie Botel taking third.
So here we go, we are ready to rumble, heat number 9. And away they go. Oh, it's Arnio who's gone in front here. Arnio leading the way. Summers trying to find a way through on the inside here. And here comes Morris now. Morris has gone round the outside and Summers is back in third place here. And who would have put their mortgage on this one? Chiro Arnio leading the way. Second place there, Ashley Morris. Third place, Aaron Summers. Summers is about to see his unbeaten record go out the window, or is he, as he dives up the inside here of Morris, moves him off the line there on the bottom turn. Morris coming back at him. What a race this is. Super stuff. And here comes Summers again. He's gone back past Morris. They are passing for fun. And now he's going after the rider in blue, Chiro Arnio. He looks over his shoulder. He knows Morris is right there, trying to scrape away on his exhaust pipe down the back straight. And here comes Morris again. Arnio, meanwhile, is having things all his own way out in front. But it's a wonderful race behind him here. It's going to be a race for the line. Whoa, super Speedway. A win there for Chiro Arnio. But what was going on behind him between Aaron Summers and Ashley Morris?
Time to get those answer sheets and those marking pens at the ready then. It's time to see who is claiming the bragging rights in your household this evening. Let's see how you got on in British Speedway Quiz Night number 14. Round number 1 then, pick and mix. And question number 1, which British club are nicknamed the Witches? Of course, it was Ipswich, and I've got full confidence that each and every one of you playing along will have got that one right due to the Witches' history in British Speedway. So, of course, Ipswich was the answer to question number 1. Question 2, which club raced their home fixtures at the Smallbrook Stadium? Correct answer is the Isle of Wight. Well, yes, Smallbrook is, of course, the home of the Isle of Wight. Many of you out there will have made the trip on the ferry at some point, I'm sure. So, Isle of Wight gets you the point for question 2. Question 3, the following is an anagram of which National League club? And on your screen you will have seen La Mend Hill. It was Mildenhall, and even if you're not a fan of anagrams or rearranging letters, hopefully that was still nice and easy for you, and hopefully a gift of a point early doors. Question 4, whose club crest logo have we zoomed in on here? Correct answer was Kent. Well, hopefully you were able to get that one as well. This is Kent's new crest for their elevation into the championship. Like I say, hopefully the good number of you will have got that one still. Question number 5. Stormy is one nickname given to which Newcastle rider? It is Matt Weathers. Well, I'm sure you don't need me to explain that one. Matt Stormy Weathers was the answer we were looking for that one. Next up, it was time to see how much attention you'd been paying to the Speedway news over the past week or so for the next couple of questions. Starting with question 6, Swindon and pool racer Adam Ellis suffered a fractured what earlier this week? Correct answer is wrist. Well, yes, the French-born Brit was raising money for a childhood cancer charity by taking part in a long-distance bike ride in France, and unfortunately crashed on the final day and sustained a fractured wrist. Question 7. Which racer will be Great Britain's sole representative in the scheduled FIM European Under-21 qualifier in the Czech Republic next month? It was Dan Bewley. Well, yes, there were initially 3 qualifiers on the calendar with a number of young Brits in the frame for call-ups, but with the COVID-19 pandemic reducing the qualifying rounds to just 1, Great Britain, unfortunately, were allocated just 1 place, and it was Dan Bewley who was put forward by young Lions bosses. Question 8, putting riders in a certain order, and this was all about riders who celebrate their birthdays in July. And from oldest to youngest, we wanted you to put the following 4 riders in order of their age. And we gave you A. Tom Brennan, B. Daniel Hume, C. Thomas Jorgensen, and D. Jakob Torschel. And the correct order we were looking for was C, D, B, A. So C, D, B, A, that's Thomas Jorgensen, Jakob Torschel, Daniel Hume and Tom Brennan. Well, Thomas Jorgensen is the oldest of the 4. He celebrated his 28th birthday earlier this week, while Jakob Torschel will turn 27 in a week's time. Daniel Hume, he turned 24 next weekend, while Tom Brennan celebrated his 19th birthday at the beginning of the month. Question 9. Edinburgh signed Richie Worrell over the winter, but which championship club did he ride for in 2019? It was Leicester, and Worrell had enjoyed some pretty solid form for the Lions as well before missing the second half of the campaign after suffering a badly broken ankle in the middle of the season. Question 10. 3 of Wolverhampton's top 4 all-time record point scorers are what nationality? Correct answer is Swedish. Well, yes, American may have crept into your mind and may have been a tempting answer with Sam Ermolenko and Ronnie Corrie, of course, among the big points for the Wolves. But especially under the management duo of Chris Van Straten and Peter Adams, they have found particular success with Swedish riders. And it's Peter Karlsson, Michael Max and Freddie Lindgren, the 3 riders in question. No bonus points if you could name them, but Swedish was the nationality we were looking for in question 10. Question 11. What is the name of this club mascot? It is Chase the Ace. Yes, of course, Chase the Ace, who can be found at the National Speedway Stadium in Manchester, entertaining supporters in between heats on both Bellevue Aces and Bellevue Colts race nights. Question 12. Both Ben Barker and Danny King raced for which British club between 2011 and 2014? It was Birmingham. Yes, the former Great Britain internationals enjoyed their time at Perry Bar as well, as they became firm fans' favourites, often as a solid middle order partnership with the second city side. Multiple choice for question 13. Which former British champion and world finalist was the joint team manager of Sheffield in 2016? A. Eric Bucock, B. Gary Havelock, C. Chris Morton or D. Joe Screen? The correct answer was option A, Eric Bucock. Well, some of you may have put Joe Screen, and he was the Sheffield team manager at one stage, but not in 2016. So it was option A we were after, and Eric Bucock, who looked after the Tigers alongside Mark Bates. Multiple choice once again for question 14, and Berik's Nikolai Busk Jakobsen was born in which country? A, Denmark, B, Finland, C, Norway or D, Sweden? It was option A, Denmark. Yes, Busk Jakobsen was born in the city of Viborg in Denmark, so option A gets you the point for that one. Question 15. Ian Jordan is a director at which 2 British clubs? And I did give you a small clue as well that one was in the Championship and one in the National League. And hopefully you have got Eastbourne and Plymouth written down. And since linking up with both of those clubs, Ian Jordan has come up with a whole host of initiatives, schemes and ideas. And it was Eastbourne and Plymouth that will get you the point in that one. 50-50 chance of you getting question 16 correct. Which of the following set the existing track record at Poole in 2006? A, Antonio Lindback or B, Bjarne Pedersen? It was option A, Antonio Lindback. Yes, according to the official website of the Pirates, it was the Brazilian-born Swede Lindback who set the fastest time around the Wimborne Road circuit 14 years ago in a time of 56.91. Question 17. Which current British League competitor is this pictured during his junior racing days? correct answer is Joe Lawler. Of course, it was the Red Car and Leicester Lion Cubs youngster Joe Lawler. And that picture was taken during the British Youth Championships 9 years ago in 2011. Question 18. Who was initially placed in temporary charge of Peterborough in April 2016 following Carl Johnson's unexpected decision to stand down from his role as team boss? It was Dale Allett. Yes, despite being involved with Kings Lynn, Allett also took on roles with rivals Peterborough and answered the call to be temporary team manager before the Panthers appointed Jason Atwood. Question 19, this time from highest amount to the least. Can you put the 4 riders in order based on how many championship points they scored for Somerset in 2019? And the 4 riders we gave you were A. Nico Cavati, B. Chris Harris, C. Nick Morris and D. Rory Schlein. The correct answer we were looking for was D, B, A, C. So D, B, A, C, that's Rory Schlein, Chris Harris, Nico Cavati and Nick Morris. Well, Rory Schlein bagged 251 points last term for the Rebels, with Chris Harris managing 222. Nico Cavati scored 159 points, and hopefully you remembered that Nick Morris was a late season signing for Somerset. He scored 76 points during his appearances for the Oak Tree Arena outfit at the back end of 2019. So DBAC was the order we were looking for that one. And as ever, we award 1 point if you got all 4 riders in the correct order, but we'll leave it up to you how you want to mark it back at home. Finally, for our opening round, question 20, Leicester and Kings Lynn's 2015 Elite League clashes on August the 15th and September the 1st ended with the same scoreline, but what was it? It was 44-46, so a 46-44 away victory on both occasions. And of course, this was the question relating to our latest Monday Night Speedway broadcasts, in which we treated you to a double header this week. And they saw 2 fascinating fixtures between Leicester and Kings Lynn, and both finished with a 46-44 victory to the visitors. On to the first of our 2 theme rounds then. And the first one was called Pair Up, and we should, around about now, be heading to the concluding stages of the championship pairs. Unfortunately, that's not happening, so we decided to test your knowledge of the second tier pairs event. And question number 1, traditionally and most commonly, how many points are awarded for a race winner in the second tier pairs event? Correct answer is 4. Well, of course, the answer was 4 in the 4-3-2-0 scoring system, where team riding is encouraged, with second and third more effective and useful than a first and a last. So 4 was the answer we were after for question 1. Question 2, which club finished runners-up behind Glasgow at the 2019 Championship Pairs? Correct answer was Leicester. Well, yes, Glasgow's Craig Cook and Rasmus Jensen may have come out on top last year, but it was Scott Nicholls and Ryan Douglas of the Leicester Lions who pushed them all the way in second. Question 3, multiple choice. Who was the other member of Sheffield's 2018 Championship Pairs winning duo alongside Kyle Howarth? A. Josh Bates, B. Lassabier, C. Josh Groshonek or D. Charles Wright? In 2018, it was option D, Charles Wright. Well, first and foremost, Josh Groshonek wasn't in the Tigers lineup that season. That was the year before in 2017. And while both Bates and Bier did ride for Sheffield at some point 2 years ago, it was Charles Wright who teamed up with Carl Howarth to win the championship pairs in 2018. Question 4, the second tier pairs is most commonly associated with Somerset's Oak Tree Arena, but which club hosted the 2017 staging? Correct answer was Sheffield, and not only did the Steel City side win the event in 2018, they also won it the previous year as well, as they sealed the trophy in front of their home fans. So Ollerton Stadium was the venue, and Sheffield was the answer we were looking for in question number 4. Question 5, which Australian racer won the Premier League pairs in both 2015 and 2016 whilst representing 2 different clubs? Correct answer was Rowan Tungate. Well, yes, Tungate partnered Danny King to claim the silverware for Ipswich in 2015 before linking up with Somerset to come out on top for the hosts the following season. Back to multiple choice for question number 6. And for this one, which 2 riders were triumphant for Edinburgh in the 2014 Premier League pairs? Was it A, Craig Cook and Sam Masters, B, Max Frick and Sam Masters, or C, Justin Sedgman and Steve Worrell? It was option B, Max Frick and Sam Masters. Yes, it was the Aussie duo of Frick and Masters who got their hands on the trophy in 2014 in what was something of an anticlimax, as Nick Morris got excluded in the first run of the final. And despite teammate Oliver Allen winning the rerun for Somerset, the unique scoring system that we mentioned in question 1 handed the title to the Monarchs. So option B, Max Frick and Sam Masters, was what we were looking for in question 6. On to question 7. Josh Orty was a back-to-back runner-up in both the 2012 and 2013 Premier League pairs with which club? Correct answer was Scunthorpe. So yes, not really a trick question at all with that one. It was Scunthorpe he was a pairs runner-up with in 2012 and 2013 with the club he has since gone on to become the all-time record point scorer of. Question 8. Joe Screen and James Greaves won the Premier League pairs for which club in 2011? It was, of course, Glasgow. Well, many of you out there will automatically associate James Greaves with Glasgow, at second tier level in particular, while former British champion Joe Screen also spent time with the Scottish outfit at the front of last decade as well. So Glasgow, the correct answer there. Back to multiple choice for question 9. Which of the following was a winner of the Premier League pairs in 5 out of the 7 stagings between 1997 and 2003? Was it A, Danny Bird, B, Shane Parker, or C, Carl Stonehewer? It was option C, Carl Stonehewer. Well, all were multiple winners, with Danny Bird one half of the winning pair in both 2002 and 2004. Shane Parker was a back-to-back winner in 2005 and 2006, but it was Carl Stonehewer who had that fine run of success, winning 4 pairs titles with Workington and 1 with the Long Eaton Invaders in 1997. Finally, for round 2, question 10. During its time as the Premier League pairs, how many riders from the current list of world champions won the event? Correct answer was 2. And unfortunately, no bonus points if you were able to name them. Simply bragging rights, I'm afraid. But 2 was the answer, and we were looking for Chris Holder. He was a winner with the Isle of Wight in 2007, and Jason Doyle a winner with Somerset in 2013. So 2 gets you the 1 point for question 10. Round number 3 then, and this week it was called Missing Club. And essentially we know that you enjoyed the career path round earlier on in the instalments of the British Speedway Quiz Nights. Basically, we gave you a rider and a period of 4 years. One of them had a question mark by them, and all you had to do was name the team in question that the rider rode for in that year. So hopefully all was nice and easy to understand with this one, and we kicked it off with Scott Nicholls and 2014 to 2017. And as we told you, Nicholls was with Bellevue in 2014, 15 and 16, but we wanted to know which top flight side was he with in 2017. Correct answer was Rye House. So Rye House was the question number 1 answer there. Next up we had Jason Doyle and 2015 to 2018, and you'll have seen on your screen that he made the switch to Somerset in 2018 after 2 years with Swindon. But for which then top flight club was he racing for in 2015? So hopefully you heard me stress the word then top flight club, because the answer was Leicester. So Leicester obviously moving back down into the second tier, but Jason Doyle did ride for the Leicester Lions in 2015. Kenneth Bier was next up, and 2016 to 2019. And on your screen you'll have seen that he was with Peterborough in 2016, Leicester in 2018 and Bellevue in 2019. And we wanted to know which Premiership club was he at in 2017, and I did give you a clue as well that it was one of the clubs mentioned and one already on screen, and the correct answer was Bellevue. So Bellevue was the answer. Kenneth Bier riding for them in 2017. Jack Holder next up, and 2017 to 2020. The Australian doubled up between Poole and Peterborough in 2017, and then as you can see on your screen, last season he raced solely in the top flight for the Poole Pirates before making the winter switch to Sheffield. But for this question, which Premiership side did Jack Holder race for in 2018? Correct answer was Somerset. So yes, Somerset the answer for that one. On to the next one we move, and this time it was Rawish Line and 2016 to 2019. And as you'll see there, settled in nicely at Wolverhampton during this period while swapping Ipswich for Somerset in the second division. We wanted to know though, for which top flight club did Rawish Line sign for in 2016? Correct answer was Kings Lynn. So Kings Lynn, the club we were looking for Rawish Line there. Next one we had Adam Ellis and 2017 to 2020. And he's been with Swindon in the top flight for all 4 of those seasons. And after linking back up with Birmingham in the Championship last year, he agreed to move back to Poole for 2020. But we wanted to know, for which second tier side did he race for in 2018? It was Lakeside. So yes, top heavy Lakeside of 2018. Next up we had Brady Kurtz, and the period of 4 years we went for was 2015 to 2018, and the Australian spent a second straight season with Somerset in 2015 before stepping up to join Poole. But for this question, we wanted to know which second tier team did Brady Kurtz double up with in 2016. Correct answer was Plymouth. So Plymouth, Brady Kurtz rode for in 2016 alongside Poole. Next up, it was the turn of Cameron Heaps in 2017 to 2020. Now, he's been signed up by Ipswich in each of the 4 years in question, with second team spots at Somerset in 2017, Edinburgh last season, and Kent this year. But for this question, we wanted to know, which Premiership team did Cameron Heaps represent in 2018? Correct answer was Wolverhampton. So Wolverhampton gets you the point for that one. Penultimate rider and penultimate question of British Speedway Quiz Night number 14. And we had Lewis Kerr, and again 2017 to 2020. And on your screen, you'll have seen that he had spells with both Somerset and Poole in the top flight in 2017, as well as a championship team place with Scunthorpe. He spent the past few seasons back at Kings Lynn, and is also set for a second straight year at Eastbourne in the championship this year. But essentially for this one, we wanted to know, which second tier club did Lewis Kerr represent in 2018? Correct answer was Glasgow. So Glasgow gets you the point for that one. And finally, Bjarne Pedersen and his British Speedway career between 2010 and 2013. And he was with Poole 10 years ago, and with Eastbourne in 2011 and 2013. But which club was he with in 2012? The correct answer is Birmingham. So Birmingham gets you the point in tonight's final question.
So how many points did you accumulate then in British Speedway Quiz Night number 14? And who out of your family and friends is claiming the bragging rights this evening? Do let us know your score out of 40 points if you followed the marking scheme that we suggested, with just 1 point per question. Do leave your answer sheet or your final score in the comments section underneath. Now, I did say that we would be making an announcement regarding next week's British Speedway Quiz Night, which will be number 15. Now, I know we have had a whole host of regular players, a lot of you who play along live at 8:30 every single Friday, and also on demand on the YouTube channel over the course of the weekend as well. But unfortunately, next week's Speedway Quiz Night will be the last in the current series. These quiz times, believe it or not, do take a bit of time to put together, and with the world slowly returning to normal and my own personal work commitments, we have reached the decision that quiz night number 15, quite an apt number when you think of Speedway as well, next week's will be the final quiz night in the current series. That doesn't mean to say it will be the last one ever. Fingers crossed we do get a 2020 season up and running in some sort of form. If that does happen, then during the winter break, we will do another one of these, maybe before the 2021 season as well. But nevertheless, we'll still be coming up with creative content and different ways where you can interact via our social media channels. But please do spread the word and get as many people playing along as possible. Next week, Friday, 8:30, YouTube and Facebook, it will be the final British Speedway Quiz Night number 15 of the current series. This Monday from 7:30, July the 20th, on our YouTube and Facebook channels. Don't forget Monday Night Speedway broadcast. And we are rewinding to the 2009 Premier League fours from Workington and Derwent Park, and really is a thrilling battle for the silverware on that occasion as well. And don't forget the social media channels. I should point them out to you, I guess. The website, first of all, is speedwaygb.co.uk. Twitter, give us a follow at SpeedwayGB. Search SpeedwayGB and like the page on Facebook. Give us a follow on Instagram at Official British Speedway. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. Search Speedway Great Britain. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll catch you back on Monday as we rewind to the 2009 Premier League fours.